Have you ever had one of those moments where you're doing completely fine, and next thing you know, you're getting things done, you're moving through your day, handling responsibilities, and then something small happens? Someone says something the wrong way, one more thing gets added to your list, plans change, and suddenly you're feeling overwhelmed. Your patience disappears, your emotions rise quickly, you feel like you might cry or shut down, and you think, where in the heck did that come from? I was fine just 5 minutes ago. If that's ever happened to you, today's episode is going to make something click, because overwhelm rarely appears suddenly, it builds quietly. And when you understand that pattern, you stop blaming yourself. If you're tired of mental overload and living in survival mode, and you want simple steps to feel calmer, more grounded, and back in control, if so, you're in the right place, my friend. Hey, I'm Rochelle, a woman who's been there. I learned how to slow my mind and find stability again through practical mindset tools. If you're ready for comfort, clarity, and steady ground, grab your coffee and let's go. Welcome back, friend. I'm really glad you're here. If these conversations resonate with you, I want to invite you into the Facebook community. It's a calm space where women talk honestly about stress, anxiety, faith, and learning how to live with more steadiness. No pressure, just real support. You can find the link in the show notes. I'd love to see you there. For a long time, I believed something about myself that wasn't actually true. I thought I was randomly emotional. I would be fine most of the day, handling things, taking care of responsibilities, moving through everything that needed to get done. And then suddenly, something small would push me over the edge. A comment, a change of plans, another request, and suddenly I felt completely overwhelmed and would shut down. I used to think, why am I reacting like this? The situation isn't even that big. But what I eventually realized was something important. I wasn't reacting to that moment, I was reacting to everything I had already been carrying. Most overwhelm doesn't explode out of nowhere, like some may think, including me. It stacks. Small stress here, a responsibility there, a conversation you're still thinking about, another decision that needs to be made. None of those things feel huge on their own. So you keep moving. You keep solving problems, keep handling life, because that's what capable women do. But your nervous system keeps track, even when you don't think of it and your mind isn't focused on that. And eventually, the pressure reaches a limit. That's when something small becomes the tipping point. And especially women who carry a lot are often the ones who miss the early signs of stress. Not because they're unaware, you would say, but because they've trained themselves to keep going and pushing through. Maybe your shoulders are tight. Maybe your breathing becomes shallow. Maybe you feel slightly irritated. But you keep moving because things need to get done. By the time your mind notices something is wrong, your nervous system has already been under pressure for hours. That's why overwhelm feels sudden. But it was building quietly the entire time in the background. And a moment that changed my perspective was one day I asked myself a different question. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? I asked something like, what have I been carrying today? And when I thought about it honestly, there was a lot. The conversations, responsibilities, emotional weight, things I handled quietly without even noticing. That moment changed how I saw overwhelm. It wasn't weakness, it was simply accumulation of a bunch of things. One of the most helpful things I've learned is to pause earlier in the day and check in with my body. And I'm not saying do it when you're already overwhelmed, because you're too late, but before that point. Sometimes I'll ask myself something like, what is my body feeling right now? Not my thoughts, but my body. Are my shoulders tight? Am I clenching my jaw? Am I rushing? Is my breathing shallow? Your body usually knows long before your mind does that pressure is building. And noticing earlier can change the whole direction of your day. And another small thing that helps me in those moments is simply remembering I don't have to carry everything alone. Sometimes I pause and say quietly, God, help me slow down. I need something. It's not a long prayer, just a reminder that I'm not the only one holding the weight of the day, and I'm not by myself. If you've ever had one of those moments where you think, I was fine 5 minutes ago, why do I suddenly feel overwhelmed? There's a good chance you weren't actually fine. You were just strong, doing what you know. You're capable, and you were handling a lot. Understanding that changes everything, because instead of judging yourself, you can start listening to yourself earlier. Small awareness creates big change. So, friend, thanks for joining me here today. And if that episode resonated with you, come on over to our Facebook community and tell me if you've ever had one of those I was fine 5 minutes ago moments. I promise you, you're not the only one. And we'll chat again soon. Take care. Hey friend, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If it helped you feel a little more grounded, would you take 30 seconds and share it with a woman who could really use it right now? Also, please follow the show and leave a quick written review. It truly helps this podcast reach more women who need steady ground, and it lights me up knowing this podcast is helping. Okay friend, I'll meet you back here next time for another episode. And until then, take a deep breath and be gentle with yourself. Talk soon.